welcome to the Coley Crowns. I'm Ashante.
Hi. And I'm Lori, and welcome to our Queendom.
Before we get started, we want to say happy birthday to our Queen Lori. She just recently celebrated her birthday. Yay.
Yay.
So leave her some happy birthday comments down in it below.
Yes.
So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, be sure to hit the subscription button, like, and share. So this is it. This is the last episode of this season of Married at First Sight,
Thank the
season
Lord.
12 in Atlanta.
Oh my
You said thank you, Jesus.
yes. It was just too long.
It's
They
it's been a
stretched it.
it's been a long season. So this is part 2 of the reunion show.
Mhm.
Last week we recapped the first part of the reunion where they spoke with Brianna and Vincent, Eric and Virginia, Clara and Ryan.
Mhm.
And then we were in the middle of Chris and Paige and Pastor Dwight threesome when things ended. So just to recap what happened, they brought out Pastor Dwight, right, when Chris and Paige were recounting their experience on the show. And Chris, being Chris, became this big baby and wanted to try to act like he was gonna fight somebody. And I'm looking like, who you gonna fight? In your little sister pants. Like I keep saying, them pants so tight. Really? You how? Who are you fighting, sir? And
Nobody.
he's just attention, just whatever he can do to grab the attention. So of course
Well,
he
what
has
are
this.
you fighting? How old were they? Is he in his 20s or 30s?
I think he's 28, like late 20s, still old enough that you got stuff to lose, right? Like people, you get to a certain age, you don't really fight because you actually got stuff to lose. You know,
Right.
you got time to be going to jail and spending bail money and possibly losing a job. No, when you get to a certain age, that stuff kind of gets out your system unless it's really like you fighting for your life. This ain't it, sir. This ain't
At
it.
all. At
So
all.
he all meet me outside, how about that, all that with Doc. And Pastor Dwight just sitting there kind of like, sir, I am not going there with
All
you.
right.
Like, you're not even worth it. So that's where we pick back up this week. You know, it's showing Chris. He actually did.
Oh, I do want to.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do want to just talk about this story that I read about Pastor Dwight, like fun
Oh,
facts that
okay.
he really is a pastor. They named his church, that he really doesn't want fame. He was just, on the show, because he likes to reach out and
Sure.
and lead people to Christ. That he is married, because I guess people was trying to slide in the DMs, but this man is
I ain't
married,
gonna stop nobody.
and that he does and that he does TikTok sermons. I
Hey,
just wanted to
however
mention
you
that.
can
I
reach the
thought that,
people, but the you on here from you not really trying to get no publicity. I don't buy that. You could have been in the background. You know, maybe you make your appearance for the wedding or whatever, but then you
right,
kind
and
of in the
that's good.
background. He wants
Mm.
some publicity, maybe to bring people to the church and stuff, but you still wanted some publicity. But okay,
Right.
like we mentioned, the hairline was better, so he must have been getting some.
Woo!
He saw them comments, right? It was like, okay, yo, Barbara, I need you to
He was the
work that out,
barber.
do a little better for me.
Like, sir, you got me out here looking crazy. Stop doing this line. I thought it looked cute because you convinced me. Stop it.
Too much
So,
love, too much heavy-handed on the painting, whatever that
right.
is, to put that on.
Right.
So
Mm.
again, so Pastor Dwight is there. He's not trying to get into it with Chris like that or anything. Chris leaves, and then he makes his ultimatum that he's not coming back if I keep want to say Dr. Dwight, I don't know why. Pastor Dwight, if he's still there and involved. So they let Pastor Dwight go. Chris comes back and he apologizes, but everything goes right back to what you said from weeks and weeks ago. It's like somebody has to tell him what to say. He knows what to say when he wants to say it. And later on in this episode, I think it was I can't remember who said it, but someone was like, he knows when to turn it on and when to turn it off.
Yep.
So he knows, okay, oops, let me try to gather myself and apologize and all of this. But we know who you are. We see you. We've seen you through this season.
It's too much. Too much.
And poor Paige again. I'm stop saying poor Paige, but Paige is sitting there and it's a lot she had to go through. But I did appreciate that they brought her friend Nancy.
Yes, I feel like I know this girl Nancy, but I don't know her. But I just feel like I've seen her before. But Nancy was just like, "No, Chris, these apologies don't
Don't
do
mean
nothing for
nothing.
me." Nope.
Listen, she was ready to meet him outside. She was saying that she's like, if I see him on a dark alley.
Right. And then she has dreads. I was like, what's going on with this wig? How'd you fit all of those things under there? Unless she cut them off. I don't know.
That's what I was wondering too, because I was like, I thought she had twist dress or something for the wedding. I'm like, how'd they do that?
And they look like real dreads. They didn't look like those locks. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, but I've seen people actually put weave on dreads before. I was just like, that's too much.
I've heard of that too. Yeah. Seems like too much to me as well. But I like that Nancy came on, and question we had was like, well, where are her family and friends? Like, why aren't they there? And she was like, we couldn't be on there because we're not as calm and collective as Paige. We would have been cussing people out and all of that. So we had to be kind of in the background, but we were there for her. We just couldn't be on the screen. And I was like, okay. And that makes sense. I can definitely see it. It's like, oh no, we can't have that on the show. It'll be too much editing. So, but it's good to know she did have the support system there. Yeah. They were just in the background, but at the same time, like she said, you don't want to interfere really in too much. Like you want to say, okay, this is your life. I'm gonna let you do and what you feel compelled to do, which she felt compelled that she was committed to this marriage because, it was a legally binding marriage and to this process. And that's what Paige said why she stayed in it, that she wasn't naive. She wasn't, low self-esteem, no, any of the comments that people have made, and even we've made in regards to her. But, it's just hard to watch and to see her go through that and be like, girl, why are you staying? Why are you, accepting this? But again, when it's you and you're in that position, and like you said, being very religious, and you're taught that marriage is, that ultimate commitment, and you want to be there and support someone. She did her best. I give her kudos for that. She tried to be there. She had no help from him, but she did her best to try to be there.
Right. Nancy was like, she's a better woman than me, child. Somebody's tires would have been slashed. She's like, But yeah, I appreciated them bringing her out, actually. She looked good too. I was just like, Nancy, where you get this outfit from? It was so cute. I was like, okay. But then Paige did say that she does do therapy. I don't know if she mentioned it here or later, but that was one of the things that helped her get through is her, family support, friend support, but also going to therapy, because I'm sure this was a big doozy for her.
Right. And she said it has taken shots at her own self-esteem. Like she's a very high self-esteem person, but right when you are going through it and then you have to watch back and see the comments that he was making and read comments from people that, I mean, for anybody that would start decreasing and affecting them mentally. So definitely happy that she's getting the help that she needs, or people she can talk to, and the support that she needs. Because mental health is important. So we want to make sure we take care of ourselves and take care of our thrones, right?
Yes. So I don't know anything else after that. That was it, right? I don't remember nothing else big that
for them. Yes, I think that was it. Later, we see that Chris does end up exiting the show, which no big surprise to me because as Dwight said, he don't like correction. So now he had to come with this group of people at the end and talk about things. He wasn't gonna do that. So he ended up leaving. So then we go to, I can't remember the order, if it was all the guys and then Haley and Jacob, or they went Haley and Jacob first.
I think it was all the guys first, maybe, but it wasn't a big thing with all the guys anyway. So we can just talk about them. I mean, they said they have a group chat that's strong and they talk every day. So I guess, new age, we talk every day is you may send a funny video and people laugh or something. That's not talking every day to me, but okay. But they say they do stay connected. They never mentioned if Chris was a part of that group, but I'm assuming that he's not. And that I'm trying to think what else was big from that little group. Was that video with Vincent going to get a s'more in that thing?
It was at the end.
So cute. Why did they not show these things with Vinny? I think this is on purpose. I feel like they did not show his full personality in this show. He went outside in the cold to make a s'more just for Brianna and did it in front of everybody.
It's just like, oh, thank you, honey. It was so cute.
And they said after that, they all did it because it was just like, sir, how you gonna go?
Can't be leaving us out like that.
You did it for us
looking bad.
Right. It's not like you did this and y'all were in separate areas or whatever. They together. Okay, let me go make these.
Because the wives are like, wait a minute. Ryan, Jacob, well, maybe not Jacob.
Where
Eric, like, y'all, we not doing s'mores? Y'all not bringing me one? But no, I think that's really cute. And I love seeing that because, again, there's always the topic about how people are portrayed, particularly Black people, are portrayed on TV, always like the negative stereotype things. But then you have here a very positive, I think, image of a Black couple, a Black man who are Hispanic, person of color, who really wants to be married, you know what I mean? Like, and
right.
I think that helps with also the narrative that there are men out there who want to be married, who are good guys and things like that. So like you said, it probably is not on purpose to try to keep that narrative going, but that just would have been so cute to see during the season. And help with that storyline.
Everything. I mean, maybe we could say the same thing about Eric. We didn't really see a different side of Eric that much either. It just seemed like it was all like
they have their story, right? The storyline for each person that they have to keep. Because even with the whole group, right, with the guys, and Vincent was like telling a little bit about each one, and he was like, Ryan was like the jokester, the fun person, and it's like, where? But it's like that's not the storyline they wanted to portray, and so we didn't really get to see that.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, I think it's good to see all of that, even if it's just a snippet of you're filming everything. So it's not like, oh, we just didn't catch that. But do we need to know that they're having the same conversation over and over about the same thing? We saw that. We don't need it every week. So giving us a little something extra then clues into, oh, this is why they were matched. Oh, this is why they said yes. Because that whole Ryan and Clara, it was just like, okay. They just looked like they just didn't mesh, or they didn't smile, they didn't joke, they just didn't seem like they had that, but they probably did. It just wasn't put on the show. I don't know. I wish you would kind of make that a little bit better. You can still run with that undertone. Oh, he's never said I love you. Oh, he doesn't have sex with her.
They had we need it for 22 episodes. So every episode did not need to be about that. Yes.
every single one. It's just like, we get it. We understand that's a problem, but there's other stuff that's happening between them, but okay. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know if there was anything else with just the guys that I
The
remember.
last thing I'll bring up, Kevin, I remember his name, the host who's hosting the reunion show. When the guys are in the group, he brought up about the incident in Vegas where Jake thought that Haley lied and was like it was a group thing, but she didn't want him. So he was asking the guys
Oh,
like,
yes.
"Oh, so was it a girls' night out, or did y'all get together and just didn't tell Jake?" And so they all said that no, it was initially supposed to be a girls' get together or whatever, but it's a hotel casino. They all came. Were doing the guys, I guess, were out on the floor doing their own thing when one wife ended up, I guess, inviting the other, and then another wife ended up inviting the other, and that's how the guys end up being there. But Haley didn't invite her husband. She didn't send a text
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, the other guys are here now. If you want to come join us, whatever." So I can still see how, from Jacob's point of view, that probably looks like they were deliberately leaving him out of that group setting when it wasn't necessarily the case. It really was Haley. But then at the same time, y'all, well, maybe they didn't have their group text together yet. Why they didn't say in the group text,
Yeah,
like,
they
hey,
had just met.
yeah,
So,
well, like they didn't have their little group text together
you
yet.
know, Kevin really annoyed me with this line of questioning with Jacob and Haley. And I know we're going to get to it, but this kind of speaks to,
Transition right there to it now.
he was just, okay. If we compare the couples, Haley and Jacob and Chris and Paige both kind of broke up for the same reason. One was not attracted to the other, right? And they couldn't get past that. That's the essence of it. Of course, Chris did a lot of hurtful things to
Right.
Paige that made it even beyond. But the true essence of it is, I'm not attracted to this person, so I may not be giving 110% of myself. I'm just kind of going through some motion, right? But when Kevin is talking to Chris and Paige, he takes Paige's side on most things, right? You can just tell the line of questioning. And that's exactly what happened with Haley and Jacob. He was taking Haley's side. Like, well, dude,
Did you
she
try to
was trying.
romanticize her?
Like, did you do this? Did you do that? But is that big of a deal? But Jacob, you look like this. And I was just like, are you saying that if somebody doesn't like you, right? And you know this, they verbalized it, and there's probably some kind of feeling there. You can pick up vibes, right? That you're just going to be like, well, let me romance you with flowers and hug you. And I mean, you just seem like you don't like me like that. Who does that? You
Right.
know who does that? Stalkers. Stalkers do that because that's what happens. I know they're married and everything, but you still have feelings as a human being. And I think Kevin was just thinking, well, you're a dude, so you should be able to like push past that. No, Kevin, what are you talking about? Like he was trying to compare him with Jamie Otis
Okay,
and
I hadn't.
and
Yes, I was just about to Doug and Jamie. I was about to bring that up. I never saw that season, but I heard about um a little bit of what happened there, and he was like, "Yeah," but he was like, "Okay." She admitted she wasn't attracted to him, even cried on her wedding day, according to him. And but the husband was like, "Oh, well, I got to prove myself." Like he rolled up his sleeve and just went to work, and she and won her over. But I'm like, there has to be more than just that
it
in
was so
here.
much different. It was so much different. And that's what I was like, why is he trying to bring this up? First of all, it was weird because that's season 1 and we're in season 12. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to bring that up. And now there's a story that they're having a rough patch in their marriage, but we're not going to go down that road. But because, this is my life. I'm sorry, guys. So, so with Jamie and Doug, she instantly had a panic attack at the wedding. And then she had to kind of overcome that through time. to me, it's different because you don't actually know him. You don't know his personality. You haven't had a conversation with him. Zero. This is after Haley then had a conversation with him, slept with him, hung out with him at the honeymoon, that things start going down. So now you know who this person is. To me, if you've already started to get to know me, that means you really don't like me. If you just don't like how I look and you know nothing about me, that's a different scenario. That means maybe my personality will shine through, because then you'll like that and maybe not my looks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about deeper level where we done hunched. Okay. And we talked, we've had conversations, we're getting to know each other, and you still don't like me. That means personality, looks, nothing ain't gonna help me. Flowers ain't gonna help me. Okay. I was like,
true.
shut up.
Yeah, so true. No, I was watching that season, that part of it too. Like, really? You what? Huh? Like,
that was so random.
That was, as far as I'm concerned, I think most people agree. There really was not much that Jacob could have done to win her over. She had made up her mind and she was done.
Yes.
She was just going through it to make it to the end of the 8 weeks. But like you said, she instantly was not attracted to him, and she never tried to even get to know him. And yes, there's going to be quirky things about your partner that you may not just 100% get, but she was just like, I'm not even trying to understand or get him. She checked out very early.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I know that they kind of brought up, or I think he even brought up, Kevin, that is, about, man, like, why you keep bringing up that she don't like you? She don't like you. Like, it became this repeat thing. And it was like, well, I mean, he's telling the truth, but I could get it too that, okay, you don't got to keep telling her she don't like you. But you know what? In a way, it was kind of like he was trying to let her know again, it's okay if you don't like me.
Okay. Yes. Just admit that you don't want me. Because it's like, I think that's why he was saying in the cameras, she would speak up as if they were doing okay or she was trying or whatever. But when there was nothing going on, she wasn't into him. And I think that's why he was just like, girl, you know you don't like me, right? It's okay. You don't want to hug me. You don't want to hold my hand. You don't want to kiss me. You don't want to do nothing.
Listen,
like
when
they
they
go out the competition, like just what?
Like when they showed that scene where they were doing the little fishbowl thing, they said they'd make it to the show, and it was like hold hands, and she was like, I don't like holding hands.
How do you push past that now? Tell me what dude is gonna go on a date with a girl, no matter how much you like them, and think that, oh, okay, she doesn't even want to hold my hand after weeks of dating somebody. You think that's gonna be okay? You think that, oh, let me push through.
Let me romanticize her. Like, that's gonna change things. No.
I don't understand. I was so confused with that whole line of questioning. Then he started bringing up the bracelet. Why did you want the bracelet back? First of all, Jacob never said he wanted the bracelet back. He brought it up because he was just like, and I agree with him, that I gave you a gift and it's disrespectful to just have it somewhere else and you're not even attempting to try to get it back. That means you don't even care about it. Dr. Pepper then confronted her about it and said, this man is hurt that you won't even have the bracelet back, even if you never wore it, even if you weren't on good terms. But the fact that you have just basically thrown it away, that, oh, whatever, it's a gift, you what's the point of it anyway? It's kind of like you're saying you threw away the relationship. That's how it's equated.
Mm-hmm.
So he's never said, I want this bracelet back. He's never mentioned,
he just wanted the bracelet to be in the same zip code. That's all he wanted. The bracelet to be in the same zip code.
That's almost like when they showed the flashback, Kevin didn't say nothing about that mean girl conversation she had with her mama. Nothing. I was just like, so you just gonna ignore all of that? He never said he wanted it back. So I was just like, I don't like this whole thing.
Yeah, and then Kevin also was like, oh, I've never slept with a woman that I wasn't attracted to, or I didn't like, or something like that. He said, like, it was supposed to mean when Haley slept with him, she liked him or something.
Nothing. She just, like Jacob said, she wanted to get it over with. This is my husband. So I'm not opposed to sleeping with him, but I don't, she said she was trying to find a connection, just like
that's the reason.
I'm trying.
Who else said that? Who else said that this season? He didn't bring that up with them.
Exactly. And he did it twice to try to get this connection. Well,
twice?
I'm just saying twice before he had his panic attack.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
More than that, but I'm just saying at that time he was just trying to find it 2 times before he ran away. So it's just like I think that was just the icing on the top, right? It's just, oh, I don't know. He seems a little dry. Oh, I don't know about our conversations. He's super obsessed with the 80s. I don't know if this is it. Let me try one more thing. Okay, 3 strikes, you out. I can't.
Yep. 3 strikes, you're out.
We got? Okay. All right. We can do it.
On camera, I'll make it sound like I'm trying. I'm really trying to find that connection and see. But, and then like he was even saying, when the cameras were off, she was gone. She didn't even try to even say, okay, let's try to spend time together, watch a movie or something. You could be silent watching a movie, but you're there in presence.
Right.
And maybe afterwards, the conversation starts about the movie, and that could help go and lead into other things. But he was like, no, she would be like, I'm gone. Like, never even think about it.
And then they just play 21 questions every day. Like, ain't nobody got time. That was what their camera time was. Let's write our questions down so we have something to talk about on this episode. At least it wasn't like Christina and Henry, where Christina was like, help me out here. I need you to say something.
Oh gosh.
But they just sat there and was like, okay, so what's this? And where do you like to go? And how is this? And that's why they won that little game, because all they did was ask questions all the time. But you can ask questions, but if you're not even seeing any commonality, you're not, really understanding engaging. The little banter, not having anything, then you don't like me, Haley. And just say that and cut bait and go. Stop playing with me, basically. Stop it. Sorry. Yeah. That was long-winded, but yeah, I didn't like that whole interview. It was just horrible to me. But
I'm there with you, girl. Okay, so then for a first time in, I think they said it was first time in Married at First Sight history, they brought in the experts, and Kevin asked them questions about each couple. And then also about a little bit about the process of how they try to match each person. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know where to start. Claire and Ryan, I guess. I don't remember much what they said, but they just really said they saw them and they thought they were just really good together.
Yes, I know. No, I'm mixing that up with Decision Day. I don't know what they said on this episode.
I remember No, okay, those were Virginia and Eric. I remember them mentioning stability a few times, but with a few couples about how one person can provide more stability for the other person. Mm-hmm. But Claire and Ryan, yeah, I don't remember either what they really was saying and why they thought they were such a good couple. But it's something about they just together, they just kind of click, and it may not have been shown or expressed on camera, but that they really did click, and that's why they were very happy that the two of them were able to flourish and do well. So then let's jump to Eric and Virginia. So they two were like, okay, we know they have some differences, but we think that the differences can be worked out. So like the one example was the political differences, right? About them being both on different sides of the political spectrum. But those are the things that many couples have, and they're able to be together, work it out, whatever, even having those differences. And they said, the experts, that they think that couple benefited from their knowledge and expertise more than any of the other couples, because they were actually able to help them work out the differences that they had. Whereas the other two couples that decided to stay together, Brianna and Vincent, Clara and Ryan. They didn't really have any major issues, so they were kind of off and running from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love how they don't tell you what the real base
What
of
they
this
really want to say?
political is.
Oh,
But we already know what that is. But but yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought the segment was too long. How they were going through it, because they didn't. To me, it didn't offer that much of why they put them together. It was more like overall, like what you were saying, oh, stability, this, whatever, blah blah blah. But they were really excited that they had 3 out of 5 couples. But most of the conversation was around Chris and Paige. And, Dr. Viviana did not shy away to what she felt about Chris and how in the pre-screening, how he came off or whatever. But Pastor Cal did say he did have some concerns about how him and Paige would kind of fare out. But I guess they would have concerns about any couple. You don't know. These are random people that you're kind of squishing together. So you don't really know, if everything's going to work out. But I don't know.
So, okay. So the one thing about Paige and Chris, with Chris, they were saying how, he turned it on. They really, like, he impressed them. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that he was so open with who he was willing to date, like size wise, say color wise, like he was very open. And as we said, and what I think Dr. Viviana or Dr. Pepper said, why come on a show when you know you really have a specific type that you like? That's what you want. This is not the show, because it really is married at first sight. So you're not going to have a pick or say. But I would think as part of the process, they're probably looking at old pictures of old girlfriends. And they probably could say, yeah, he really do have this type. And maybe it is the more slender woman versus a more thick woman. And so they said Paige is slender. She got a little body, but she's on the more slender side. Or maybe they're like, oh, he likes women that have long hair, whether theirs or not. And so they're like, hey, Paige seems to wear a hat. Well, so I wonder if that's where they were like, okay, we see where you have your past of some types of things, that some preferences maybe of what your woman looked like. But I feel like they should have caught on probably if they were looking at previous relationships, girlfriends, to really see, he really does have this specific type. Mm-hmm. I've only seen pictures of Mercedes. I don't know what any other girlfriends or the other fiance looks like or whatever, but I'm just wondering if part of that process, if they're looking at that, if they would have been able to pick that up sooner.
Maybe. I don't know. That was just a train. I don't know.
Yeah. So this one clearly didn't work out, and it didn't work out. Haley and Jacob, they said they really thought this could have been one of those opposite tracks thing, that if they really, really gave it a try, that it could have been successful. But oh well, it wasn't. That was the cliff notes of that discussion.
Afterwards, like if they think on paper they look like they would work out, then that's all they can do afterwards. But I do feel like it was probably not the best match, honestly. I think the age difference alone is a huge red flag to me. I know you don't necessarily, it's not that those age differences can't get along. I just think on a show like this, I would think they would want to match it a little bit closer than that. But I don't know. I'm not an expert, So yeah, that's all I have for that section. I can't remember anything big that happened there. Did they say anything big with Vincent and Brianna? No, right?
No. No, they just quickly thought that it worked out. It was a good
Yeah.
match. That was it.
Okay. So then the last segment, I think, is with all the couples together. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So all the couples minus Chris.
Chris.
Uh,
Hey, baby. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, even, Jacob went through the whole process. They have to sit together even though they're not together. So you just suck it up and keep going. Don't let the girls drown out there by herself and have to answer all your questions. And I forgot, Kevin asked her something. She was just like, oh, okay, me again. She was just like, why do I have to answer this question?
Yeah, because he went, I'm going to go to you first, Paige. Yeah.
Like, of course. And then she just has to try to find her political answer. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they found somebody that had a little bit more black on their shoulder that just like, Kevin, please stop that. All the girls were trying to go to bat for Paige, talking about, she's super strong. She wanted this the most, comments on whatever,
Oh, so I think that
Instagram
was
or
it.
whatever.
So they have brought up the Vegas incident when Chris was going off on Clara and
Oh, yeah.
Virginia about what happened. And I don't remember the exact question he asked Paige, but Paige was kind of like, yeah, he was upset that they were coming to me and comforting me and not going to him, which is true. So him to be like, oh, y'all not really friends. Don't act like you don't care. Act like you care about her when you don't. It was like, I think any woman would have been like, girl, how are you doing? What's going on? Because you just got married. This is
Right.
what, day 2 or 3 maybe of marriage. And you just find out your husband has a baby on the way with the ex fiance. And you're like, what other woman would not try to be empathetic to that and be like, okay, girl, how are you feeling? What's going on? But of course, he wanted the attention. He wanted people to feel sorry for him. And so
First of
that was
all,
him lashing out.
they knew her longer than he knew her. So shut up. How you gonna
That is
say
true.
like what are you talking? He was just so annoying. And I told you that Vincent and Brianna really was trying to be on Chris's side because they replayed the whole thing about after the car ride and he apologizing to the group without Eric and Virginia there. And then when they showed up, Eric was just like, don't talk to my wife this way, blah, 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 blah. And how Vincent was like, well, Chris felt that once you got up, that meant
It
that
was
we
some
were about to.
miscommunication. Uh-huh.
How? First of all, Virginia got up first and was just like, hey, let's go. So that already shows you that they're ready to go. They're not trying to fight because Eric sat down until Virginia was like, get up. So we know Virginia and Eric weren't planning on beating you up, dummy. So I don't understand how he felt like that was fighting. Sir, shut up. I was just like, Vincent, don't do that.
It was something else too, Vincent chimed in on that. He was like, oh, I can see both sides. And I was like, how you see both sides? It was something related to this, but I don't know the other side that he could see because Chris was just wrong. Like there was no other side
Wrong.
to see.
Wrong. If you come to a table to apologize for his behavior, you just want to apologize to only certain people in that party. You don't want to apologize to the other one. Like Eric had every right to come to that table, man. Had every right to say what he had to say. You already apologized. So suck it up and say, actually, I apologize to everybody.
You
I
weren't
also
here.
apologize to you.
Apologize.
I understand what you're feeling. And say the same thing that you just said. That's all you had to say. Now, if Eric kept pressing after your apology, then I could understand why you would get frustrated. Listen, this is all I can do. I can't go back and change it. You know what I mean? But he didn't hear the apology, number one. And that apology wasn't for them. That apology was only to Ryan and Clara. Period. He was not interested in apologizing to Eric and Virginia because he already had beef with them. And Clara knew to shut the hell up after a while. She was just like, all right, he don't listen to me. It's fine. But Virginia and Eric don't have that in their bones. Like they're just like, but no, and you need to, and blah blah blah. And he was just like, all right, I'm going. So I don't. I was like, sir, don't do that. Sit back there with Brianna. Brianna know when to shut up too. She was like,
right? She was just sitting there. Spencer got up, had to try to hold him back.
okay. Ridiculous.
This wasn't gonna do nothing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else they talked about.
As a group, they didn't really talk about much more. Mainly, I think the conversation was that, and then they brought in the couple other couples from past seasons to ask questions, and then they answered those questions.
That was just so dumb. And then what did Amani asked Eric, how do you feel about going through this process after being previously married? Do you feel like it helped prepare you? It's like, yeah, because I understand, I was just like, shut up. Why do you ask this man this? We've heard this a million times. Please stop it. Don't want to hear this no more.
No. I like Miles' question.
I think the commercial. What did he ask?
He asked Paige what was she doing for her mental health.
Oh yeah, he's about that. That's his thing. So yeah, I didn't need that. I didn't need any.
I think that was the way of. I think it was a way of them preparing.
Yeah.
Because two couples are going to be on the next season of the Marriage Cam. I forgot already what two couples from this season, but so I think that was just their way of bringing it.
Supposed to be. It's Brianna and Vincent and Eric and Virginia. They're going to be. So don't know if I need that either. I don't.
I don't watch it either. Okay, well, I think that's it really for this season. Of course, Paige and Chris kind of stole the spotlight for most of the season with the drama they had, and ongoing drama. So we're now come to the end. We'll let our viewers know. Thank you for those who have been watching from the beginning. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching every week and liking. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, like the video, let us know how we're doing. As this season comes to an end, the next season starts July. What date was that again?
17th.
So sometime in July. So basically a month from now. And so what we decided, we previously were going to recap Ready for Love, but we decided we'll just wait and start the new season of Married at First Sight, because Ready for Love has already started, so we have to go back and rewatch from the beginning and all of that. So sorry, we won't watch that one. But what we're going to do is take a break from doing Married at First Sight recaps and start back up in July when the new season starts in Houston, Texas. But never fear, we'll still be around because we have our Wednesday episodes that we will still be taping and releasing. So check us out on Wednesdays. We drop a new video every week just talking about different topics. Last week's topic, we had a guest and we talked about HBCU versus PWI and our experiences. So go check that video out and like and share. Again, any graduates that are graduating now, we want to say congratulations to you. And before we leave, though, we'll give our tagline and to remind you to do what?
Protect your throne.
And we'll see you for Married at First Sight season 13 in Houston, Texas, starting in July. See you then. Bye.